Welcome to mathematics. My name is Semangea, the maths egu. Right. So this part is on completing the square method, advanced level mathematics. And there are two situations, cases, scenarios in this case. One is when the coefficient of the unknown letter is 1. A coefficient is just a number with a letter. That's called a coefficient. I will explain that one. Right, so let's deal with this first case, given that the coefficient of the unknown letter is 1. Like here in this case, for example, on question number 1, the coefficient of x here, x squared, it's 1. The coefficient of x is 6. Then this one, 15, is called a constant. A constant is a term that is independent of the unknown. That's called a constant. So coefficient here is the one that matters. It's 1. Right? It can be more than 1. But in this case, I'm working it as 1. Right. Then, let me take you back. For example, if it was like this. Let's say if it was x squared plus 6x plus 15. Let's say it was equals to 0. That's where you can derive your concept, right? Please take note. It's not that much difficult. It's actually easy. So given that it was like this, there was an equal sign, it was an equation. Then how are you going to go about it? Okay, let me separate. I want to keep the x, those numbers with x on this side, then without x on this side, on the right side. So this one is plus 15. Then on this side, it will be minus 15. When a value changes the sign of the equal sign, it also changes its sign. Please take note of that concept. Right, so if it's like this, what you do is, on this side we have two parts. On this side we have this part. So this one, they contain x. This one, there's no x on this one. It's a constant actually. So what you do is, on completing the square, on this left side, you add half the coefficient of x. Half the coefficient of x. So you add half the coefficient of x both sides. So in other words, you add this side to these terms and also add half the coefficient of x to this side, which is to minus 15 in this case. You get it? So please take note of that. Take note of that. So in this case, if it was like this, let me try to work it out. If it was given that it was like this, how were you going to work this one out? Okay, it's x squared plus 6x, then plus half the coefficient of x. In this case, it will be half of 6. Coefficient of x is 6 actually. Then squared. So you have to square it. Half the coefficient of x squared. You have to square it actually. Then is equals to minus 15 plus half the coefficient of x, which is half of x then squared. Something like this. So as you can see, based on what is on the screen, half the coefficient of x is supposed to be what? It's supposed to be added on both the left and the right side. So this one, if you can simplify it, it will be x squared plus 6x, then this one plus 3 squared is equals to minus 15 plus 3 squared. So in this case, half the coefficient of x is actually 3. So we add 3 both sides. You add 3 both sides. Let's say if 15 was on the left side, it was supposed to be x squared plus 6x. This one, please treat it as one item. Then you add to this one, have the coefficient of x, which is 3 squared. Then on this one, 15, let's take it to this side. Then on 15, you are supposed to subtract, actually. We're supposed to subtract, then equals to 0. What this one, plus 3 squared is added on 15 on the right side. Given that it was on the left side, then it was supposed to be subtracted from 15. Right? So please take note of this. So you add to this, and then you subtract from this. from the constant. That's what you do. That's the concept based on completing the square method. Take note of that. Based on these three, we have added to x squared plus 6x, but we have subtracted the same from 15, which is a constant in this case. In case there's no constant, what do? You just put 0. So you take a constant as 0. So from this thing, let me now work out based on this one. Question number 1. Complete the square x squared plus 6x plus 15. Now there's no equal sign. Please take note of that. So you say x squared plus 6x. Right, to this one, you add half the coefficient. Half the coefficient, which is 6. Half the coefficient of x, which is half of x. Then you square, right? Then plus, this one is 15. Then to this one, you subtract instead. Half times 6, then squared, like this. Then you simplify a bit, plus 6x, then plus, then on this one, it will be 3 squared plus 15 minus 3 squared, like this. Then let me put the sign, because the coefficient of x is actually plus 6. So the sign here will be plus, something like this. Then you take this and this, then you ignore the middle value, you ignore 6x. You just take x plus 3, then you square. That's completing the square method. Then plus 15 minus 3 squared. It will be equals to x plus 3 squared plus 15 minus 9. It will be x plus 3 squared, then plus 15 minus 9 is actually 6. So this one you have done. So that's how you complete the square. That will be your final answer. Question number 2. We want to complete the square based on this question. X squared plus 2x plus 5. You apply the same rule, the same concept, right? On this one as we have applied before. So you say x squared plus 2x. Then to this one you add half the coefficient of x, which is plus 2. Then you square it, plus, then to this one, which is a constant, you subtract half the coefficient of x, then square it. Then you simplify a bit, plus 2x, then plus, you simplify this one, it will be plus 1 squared plus 5 minus, this one is plus 1 squared. Then you ignore the middle value, you just take these ones. Then you say x plus 1, then you square. You square this one, plus 5 minus, this one will be plus 1 squared. Like this. Then it will be x plus 1 squared plus 5 minus 1. 1 squared is 1. Then the final answer will be x plus 1 squared, then plus 4. This will be the final answer. Then you are done. Let's move down to the next question. Question number 3. It's saying complete the square of this function, x squared minus 4x plus 10. Right, the same rule, the same concept applies. So you say x squared minus 4x. To this one, you add half the coefficient of x, which is minus 4 in this case. Then you square it. Then to 10, a constant, you subtract the same. Half of minus 4, then you square the number. Then after that, you simplify a bit. For x plus, on this one, it will be minus 2 squared plus 10 minus 2 squared, like this. Then you ignore the middle value, you take these values, it will be x minus 2. Take note, there is a minus sign now, plus 10 minus 2 squared. Then like this, squared, then plus 10 minus, then minus 2 squared is actually 4. It will be x minus 2 squared, then plus 6. This will be your final answer. Then you are done. Then question number 4, last question, number 4. On this one, you do the same. X squared plus 8x. Then to this one, you add half the coefficient of x, which is half of plus 8 squared, minus 1. Then to this one, you subtract half the coefficient of x, then squared. It will be x squared plus 8x plus half of 8 is 4, plus 4 squared, minus 1 minus plus 4 squared. Then you ignore the middle value, you take these values. So it will be x plus 4 squared minus 1 minus 4 squared is actually 16. It will be x plus 4 squared minus 17. Yes, that will be the answer. Right, let's move on to this question. Question number 5. You want to complete the square of this one. You do the same concept applies. So you say x squared minus 2 root 3x. To this one, you add half the coefficient of x, which is minus 2 root 3 squared plus 1. Then on this one, you subtract half the coefficient of x, which is half of minus 2 root 3 squared. Then you simplify x squared minus 2 root 3 x, then plus, on this one it will be minus 2 into 2 is actually 1, so it's minus root 3 squared, plus 1 minus root 3 squared, like this. So it will be x, you ignore this middle value, then you take this and this, minus root 3, then you square, plus 1 minus, then minus root 3 squared is minus root 3 times root 3 is actually 3. So this one will be 3, x minus root 3 squared, then minus 2. This will be a final answer. Please take note. Root of a number times root of that number, a, is equals to a. So which means square root of 3 times square root of 3 is actually 3. Take note of this. So please, after watching this video, don't forget to like the video, subscribe the video, and also share with others. The Eagle Semangia. Thank you.